All right, good afternoon. Welcome. We have some casual boots action going on here for the namesake tournament itself. Game 2 between Soyhr and Faker Jr. Should be incredibly fast and excellent matchup. I'm quite looking forward to this. I'm Claire Mouse. Joined with me on commentary is the one, the only, the casual boots guy, Jem. Tracking for us is Mahoney. Yo, Jem, how's it going? How's it going?
Hello, hi, I'm excited. Also, apparently I'm the casual boots guy.
Are the casual boots guy. I believe when casual boots comes up, your name is pretty associated with it. So, but yeah, it should be a pretty good match.
That's true.
Yeah.
I prefer just boots guy, but it's
okay.
fine.
Oh
it's
yeah,
okay.
that's true. That's true.
I'll
You
be
know,
the casual boots guy.
yeah, that's true. Pink clink boots guy. That's also good. Yeah. Yeah, so we have some wonderful friends actually for to be able to watch today. You know, Soyhr versus Faker Jr. This is game 2 within groups, and they Soyhr actually took the first one off of Faker Jr. between their their best of 2, quote unquote. Like they play each other twice, and it was actually ended up being like a really fast. If Jesse's exist in casual boots, Soyhr found the route, and the answer is go to pod without the bow, and then pod will provide you with the bow, and then, everything else will just fall in place. So that's the solution, at least that's Soyhr figured out for the last game. We'll see what happens this time.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a bow and pod, right? So
yes.
why wouldn't you go there?
Exactly. Yeah, and sadly, unfortunately, there was like no other bow, I think, or oh no, there might have been another one. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like very, very far. Sometimes when you find like the second bow, you're not really meant to find it. Like for example, if it's on like Catfish or something, like who would ever go there, right? Who would ever go to these terrible places?
Not me. Hopefully not either of these two as well, because they just waste time.
Yeah, exactly. I also see, we got a little bit of a Soyhr teammate from another tournament, Survivors of Hyrule, kind of jumping in also to maybe support Soyhr, maybe support, the opposition as well. Maybe just support the race.
How do you think PTM feels seeing Soyhr race the mode that they banned in Survivors?
Oh, that's an excellent astute observation. I would love to see if PTM might have a potential. Or Neo, have potentially, some opinions about this. I did hear that there was actually a lot of back and forth for this. Swordless banning was off the table, for them. Especially, it's kind of almost like the antithesis of casual boots, right? Because, while there's no sword in the name of casual boots means that you start with a sword.
Yeah, you start with sword and boots, and swordless, you don't have sword and you don't have boots. So.
And you also don't do escape. Oh, you're not forced to escape. You have the power to skip escape just like any other location, and then last locate something and escape. You have the option to.
Yeah. As you should.
Yes. All right.
That's why casual boots are so nice. You're just forced to do your pendant dungeon early, and
that's right.
Can't trust to get anything in there.
Yeah, it's not even like it's not even like the 4th pendant dungeon that some people might consider. It is like 0th, pendant dungeon. You are going to do something, and what's kind of made nice about casual boots, I guess specifically, in addition to many other, obviously very good things starting with boots, is that you, as opposed to just a pure standard start, even with the short sword, you do get the back escape guaranteed, right? We do see, I guess. Was it the guards are in the bomb price pack? It looks like so you can farm them, to get at least one. But who needs to take the farm when you can just bonk, right? I believe both people are interested or okay in bonking.
Yeah, there was even a mention of bonking in the file name, at least for Faker Jr. So.
Yeah, that's right. Faker Jr. also. Sorry, go ahead.
So we saw that Soyhr went out of his way to pick up a bomb that the guard dropped, and now he's tremendously behind in escape, and he essentially ruined his 455 chances. That was, a big sacrifice, but he does have one bomb over Faker Jr. now, which...
It's true.
If there's no bombs anywhere, and Faker Jr. has to, bonk the rock to get one before CAC, I guess it pays off. We'll see.
Potentially, but then you have to sacrifice the 455, and I will say I gotta give props to both Soyhr and Faker Jr. that they did not do a map check at the beginning. You can't sacrifice these precious seconds, if you're gonna try and get out of escape, before the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing more shameful than taking longer in escape than your opponent.
Yeah, and certainly that's always been the metric. Please note the sarcasm for these. While it is actually, I think, quite cool to be able to see, these guys finish 455. It is actually quite a testament, to basically execution. But it can get ruined very easily and quickly by any of the enemies, basically, right? You've got the ropes, you've got the rats, you've got the guards. They don't always have to cooperate with you. Maybe you take an extra bonk or two. It's fine. We're just practicing for the back of escape. It's fine.
Yeah, just making sure it's real boots and not pseudo boots, so we can actually bonk over.
Exactly. Yes. It is one of the hardest things to remember. I know that that we got some new technology, from some, I think, even more recent update from at least people in the community, to being able to see like, hey, yeah, we have blue boots. Some people even apparently seem to forget that you do have blue, pseudo boots on start, and then they don't actually end up dashing for like minutes on end, and you're just like, yeah, please press the A button. You can do it. But yeah, it's one of the hardest things to kind of sometimes remember. Also, you can dash. You can't always like do the boots things, right? If you don't have real boots, right? You can't bonk over doors. You can't bonk things off of torches. You can't even get you can't bonk off of trees, right? In order to get things.
Yeah.
You get five flat on Faker's side. Is that what happened?
459 actually. So
perfect. Nice great job, Faker Jr. Execution extraordinaire. I think he has been probably noted as one of the probably younger members of the community. Probably. So at least I know in the U.S. main scene, kind of came out in at least like last year's league with his dad, Name Faker. I actually that was when I first learned that Faker Jr. and Name Faker, which his name makes a lot more sense now, is actually a father-son pair, but actually has improved tremendously. I mean, he's played this game a lot, practiced a lot, but I mean, his results have been absolutely stellar.
Yeah, he has made insane progress and has very quickly become one of the top racers in the community. So massive shoutouts to his big improvements.
Yeah, and actually, it even took time to grind out some NMG. Has a mid 125 time. It's very, very impressive.
Yeah, that's a crazy good time.
People take much longer than basically, he's been playing the whole game. To be able to kind of get a time like that.
Yeah, we saw Soyhr finish Escape a bit later, but now he's at in Oswoods because he decided not to check Lumberjacks. Which I'm pretty sure there was nothing on there, so
yeah.
If he never ends up checking it later, then he's saving some good amount of time here.
Yeah. And right, I think we saw Faker Jr. check it. It is only 5 rupees this time, so yeah. Also, confirmed by PTM. If Soyhr never checks it, he's gonna save some time. I think probably only main case that he might end up giving the time back to Faker Jr. Would be he hasn't checked it. He's kind of running out of even bad options, right? Maybe he was getting down to some more desperate options. Man, maybe I needed to do the lumberjack item, with especially when you have in this case boots or not boots, cape, lamp, a sword, right? And you already have Dark World access, but you're really used to Agas and Logic, but you don't know what that item is, right? So, but I really don't see him doing that until things get really, really desperate.
Yeah, there's a chance he checks it when he goes up the mountain if he doesn't find flute.
That's true. That's true.
We see people do that. We'll see how committed he is to skipping the check. Or maybe he just doesn't get a choice and, finds flute and never finds a mirror to do it with bumper ledge.
yeah, that's true. By the way, yeah, we also did see Faker Jr. do and continue to do chest turns. He is actually one of the, at least from I think when I first came on, to try and make the goal, right, to get more chest turns than bonks. Ever since, of course, Mike came out with the new, I guess, metrics, display tracker. Now you can actually see the number of bonks you have, the number of screens, the number of chest turns you do, and we don't want to be so shameful if we're going to display chest turns to just have, this 0 all the time, right?
Yeah, I think it's a very fun thing to go for, more chest turns and bonks. Honestly, my hardest issue with going for that is I keep forgetting that I want to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, for all the the memory of doing chest turns, they actually I think technically do save time, right? 1 frame, is that right? 1 frame for chest turn, if you can get it.
In theory, they save time if you never fail one.
Okay,
if you fail one, I don't know, succeed like 20 times to make up for it.
Okay, that's just motivation to, it's like whenever you like triple or like double down on like an argument or like a bad decision, it's like if you fail a chess turn, it's like I think is that when you like, I don't even know what 20x, 60x that number is. Like that's how many times you have to double down on your mistake in order to try and make up for it, right? It's like, okay, I'll just make it up for it on the next chess turn, and then you fail it, and then you're like, okay, well, I need to make it up for the next 110 chess turns or something.
Yeah, I wonder what my chess turn at is at the moment. Probably like in the top thousands.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's cool. That makes up for it.
Exactly. It looks cool. It's pretty stylish, right? And now we have something actually to track it as well. Hey, speaking of the mirror, did you say that we potentially were just gonna get it, and then Soyhr can just check it when he goes to Bumper Ledge with Lumberjack? Yes, that's exactly what you said.
Yeah. It also, like the seed also kind of gives Aga vibes with that hookshot and the lamp and one sword already. Basically just a second sword or a cape away from doing Aga.
Yeah, with apparently with the couple with the pearl too, right? Because I know that some people don't like to do Aga without the pearl. At least like not even think about it, even though it might be in logic. Just because okay, yeah, you can do Aga for Dark World access, but then like what do you do afterwards? You can check the pyramid, right? I mean, the pearl, yeah, can be there, but what are you gonna do otherwise, right? Nothing else is kind of available to you. But yeah, having the pearl, having the hook shots, we can hook over to go to West Dark World. There are a lot of good options, for us to there are a lot of options for us to be able to do after Aga if that is in fact Dark World access.
Not quite yet, because we can't in logic hook over. We need at least a glove or flippers or hammer. True. West Dark World.
Yes. So, I was also thinking, yeah.
But yeah, we're bound to find that sooner than later because there's still a lot of Light World left. Yeah, I was also going to mention that, Aga vibes also might be, tingling because we have no other piece of Dark World access kind of, at least like visible. But you are absolutely correct. We do need at least one glove or one hammer. Probably either actually the exclusive ore, not the inclusive ore, because if we had both glove and hammer, we'd probably just, go to the Dark Worlds and not, go through this like Aga business. But it's minor things. We're actually seeing both of them go to Aga. That's crazy.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah. All right, Sean, welcome in. Actually, I think we have the whole survivors of Hyrule 75% pet aggro team here in solidarity, even though this is actually not, survivors of Hyrule.
I mean, you gotta be there for a teammate, right?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Was the crab like weirdly far right?
Maybe.
Just run already.
It's possible. I don't know. Like I think the fairy also makes it look a little different because I don't know. The fairy is, I don't know, behaves very weirdly. Like it's very like floaty, and then suddenly things look weird.
Yeah. Very nice stun price. 8 bombs. They were both really low, and suddenly they are full on bombs. Love to see it.
Yeah, I really actually like the use of like the price pack knowledge. I mean, and this is also kind of one of the things that you kind of see more experienced players, try and work with because resources I can actually be sometimes more difficult to find. It's not maybe as pronounced as like you're playing modes like Spoiler, where you don't really get these like random chests that will apparently who cares about the stun prize, we'll just go get the bombs and minimal door pit. But like it's stuff like when you're kind of running low on things, right? You won't really know when your next resource is going to come. And the fact that these guys are conscious of it, right? You don't want to really be in a position where you run out of bombs for Ice Rod Cave, you have to go farm this 50-50 that you don't have a glove for, you run out of arrows on like Vitreous or anything like that. It's stuff that you are used to doing things from a certain way, and sometimes if you don't have that luxury, like you don't prepare yourself for it, then
yeah. And speaking of stun or like price packs rather, I wonder if we're gonna see all of them try to kill these Octoroks here for a full magic drop. So we saw both of them get a fairy drop from the mini Moldoms in Mini Moldom Cave. which means the rupee price pack or the rupee group drops the large variety pack. And if you get a fairy, then the next drop is a big magic, which they have the fire rod. It's worth considering trying to farm it a bit to just be able to use it.
No, yeah, that's great price pack knowledge. You know what's better than the fire rod though? Forget the Octorok and the big magic. We have found arguably one of the best offensive weapons in the game. That's on the Y is the bow, and in the waterfall fairy, that is we actually got some little more ammunition to boot. So more than free liberty to be able to use the bow and arrow.
Yeah, that's a great find. And now the magic doesn't really matter anymore because we're about to go to Eastern and clear it, and we'll just get a magic refill. Meanwhile, Faker went out of his way to go to Hobo, following those flippers, and he found Quake there, which, if people watched the Casual Boots race from yesterday, people might know could be quite the find.
Yeah, well, especially in this case, where yes, Quake was in fact actually one of the go mode items that in this case Ravis versus Duncan for Ravis needed. It does look like the Soyhr. In this particular case, we have flippers, so maybe Soyhr doesn't want to leave any holes. As you mentioned, as you observed before, right? Faker Jr. and Soyhr both went to Agina, right? From the dam, and so they seem to be a bit more thorough in trying to do things, right? Kind of going even to less desirable locations in Light World. But in this case, both of them have Quake, so at least it's gonna be one medallion we don't have to worry about.
Yeah, it's nice that Soyhr got it now. I'm a bit surprised he went out of his way for Hobo here. He has the bow, he can just clear Eastern, get his 6 items there with Saha. And at this point you have flippers, you have mirror, there's still hope that you might be able to combine Hobo with Pod or something. And just mirror it, which is significantly faster than swimming.
Yeah. Anytime in this case, with flippers or without flippers, we don't want to be swimming. Although we just see on Faker Jr.'s side talking to Saha, which some people I think don't do in casual boosts. We just wait for the map check. But Pod is our green pendant, so maybe not combining Hobo with the pod check, also, pays off. I mean, pod is one of those places where people, I think, tend to go to regardless. But, it is a pendant if you have better things to do, right? We don't have to go.
Yeah. Yep. Actually works out well. I think I do like what you said, though. Since you have to check the map in casual boots anyway, I think it's kind of a time waste to talk to Saha. Especially since on VT he has 3 text boxes as opposed to just 1.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, text. No. Yeah, we are definitely not in favor of text boxes. There's some of them that might be kind of whimsical, right? We actually get like a nice pun joke, from Blind, right? And everyone has to kind of hear that. We get like a little bit of Uncle Text flavor. Ganon complains to us at the very end. Other than that, though, I mean, who else talks to you like we don't want to talk to the bully. We don't want to talk to the snitches. We don't want to talk to the pink ball. All right, like all of this is just fluff, right? We have missions to do. We gotta go fast. All right, we don't have time to talk. We got places to be.
Yeah. Talking to people sucks.
Yeah.
Except for you. I enjoy getting.
Okay. The pink ball here, on the mic is okay. Than the pink ball in Death Mountain.
Yes, very true.
I also did fun. Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. Yeah, to answer a question, chat. No, it's definitely not correct to swim out of Hobo. You should, unless you have the fluid, then you swim out and flew away. Other than that, you should always save and quit out of there if you want to go to Eastern.
Because you can save and quit, right? And then they start your house and then you can just dash, right? And that's much nicer than swimming.
Yeah, I don't know how it compares if you don't have boots, but if you have boots, you definitely just save and quit and dash to Eastern. But nobody should care about boots. Why would you care about that ever?
Yeah, this is casual boots, okay? We don't have to worry about not having boots. We're always going to, have boots for this tournament. There's another reason why this tournament, at least the mode, is, one of the better ones out there.
Yeah. Having fun from the start is preferable.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, having fun with boots. I mean, boots certainly do make a gigantic portion of it, but the fact that we also start with the sword is also quite. I mean, it really does amplify the fun. You're still gonna have fun with boots, but without the sword, as we kind of maybe observed in some of the other swordless matches. I mean, or you don't end up finding a sword, right? If you're an entrance or something for quite some time, or even just a regular open or open mode. I mean, you know, you gotta stop your dashes. You're gonna get hit a lot by the enemies, and you know, and sometimes, like even if you do a boost, you don't have a hook shot. We can't really do like hook speed or spin speed, you know, up on the mountain. So you're kind of just as vulnerable as you, almost as if you didn't have boost to begin with, right? So there are definitely some downsides for not having like a sword or hook shot with the boots. But I mean, that being said, though, it will never negate the positive impact of having boots. So
yeah, there's some new frustration you weirdly don't have without boots and no sword. That can really make boots and no sword unfun, but in general, boots are vastly preferable even if you don't have a sword.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so it does actually look like the big key to Eastern Vanilla. We have one more check we have to go look for, which is the shovel apparently on Armos. I'm sorry, cheerful. Everyone is cheerful when we fight. When we fight cheerful Armos, yes. That is a reference to Faker Jr. actually has made his Mata style anime emotes for every single boss, and he named Armos cheerful. So it's actually quite. They're quite happy. They're very happy Armoses.
Yeah, all of these boss emotes have cheerful or happy names.
That's right. I can't wait for Jubilant. Jubilant is Landmos. We'll see. Did see in this case earlier that Mahone also, in addition to marking literally every single item so far that you guys got, which is, you know, awesome. Desert is a 5/6 crystal, it looks like, so we are going to see this. I'm a little disappointed we have the fire rod of all things, but you know, it's can't always get what we want.
I mean, they know who's on commentary. Surely they'll try to appease their commentators.
Well, we'll see. We are unfortunately lacking a little bit more access to Desert. We don't have a flute or mitts, so we don't have a book. So we unfortunately can't actually get into Desert quite yet.
It'll happen. Just trust Soyhr. He's going to dig up a book here and then rush Landmos to kill them with the bow.
Books, okay, bombs. Okay, it's like really close to books in the dictionary, but unfortunately, not quite. Looks like Faker Jr. though. Not gonna check the shovel quite yet. We're gonna check Old Man, which is in logic with the lamp and the glove that we found. And we have the hookshot to go over to the mountain, right?
Yep, and the mirror to Hera. Like we can do everything on Light World of Mountain right now. So it makes sense that he's delaying the shovel. Probably gonna be able to do it with Stumpy later since he has the mirror.
Oh, excellent point. Okay,
yeah, if all we find up here is basically Dark World access, then he might take the shovel before going to the Dark World. But other than that, I assume he's just gonna wait.
Actually, do see Soyhr taking a peek at Lumberjack. You know, actually gonna go up the mountain. It's actually one of the other scenarios I think you mentioned earlier was we don't have to necessarily check Aga immediately, but we got other opportunities such as, you know, we do in Dark World with them for lunch, or we can just go up the mountain without the flute.
Yeah, this ends up being slightly faster than doing it on the way to the Lost Woods, I'm pretty sure. So save the time.
Saving time, exactly. Nice save time. All right, Faker Jr.
You know what also saves time?
we're trying. Okay, all right. Well, we got there. Okay, we did not even have to waste a bomb. Maybe Faker Jr. is just very conscious of his health, right? You know, we do have red mail, which means that he can't possibly die. But maybe he's just really interested in keeping his health at full, because we were definitely not going to know that we got a hard piece to refill everything. Yep.
You know, if you use the new muffin tracker that tracks your heart pieces, and you see it's at 3 heart pieces already, you should just skip all the refills, because surely you're gonna get a heart piece any moment now.
Yeah, exactly.
And get full health.
Thank goodness for the mirror, because I'm sure you personally have never experienced try to death warp out a pod, you know, and open the big chest, and then seeing a heart piece, and then, you know, getting a whole heart refill.
No,
no.
Absolutely never.
Okay,
no.
Cool cards. By the way, speaking of potential some NMG here, well, we don't usually have red mail, but we do usually have a sword and boots fighting a Moldorm on Faker Jr.'s side, probably soon to be Soyhr's side as well.
Yep. Having a little bit of trouble, but it's a difficult fight on this. So nice job not falling.
Yeah, usually, well, okay, in NMG, right, we have a little bit of less health, or specifically less defense, right? So whenever you take a hit from Moldorm, it's 1 heart of damage. And so, yeah, like, there is actually some potential, real possibility of dying if you end up getting hit probably too many times. However, though, yeah, here, the whole danger, almost it says if, you know, you're facing, like, the same problem as Ganon, is that, you know, the falling is probably the most dangerous part. You're probably not really in danger of taking a bunch of damage, but, yeah, falling is not the fun part.
Yeah. Faker is going back in from the basement. That is impressive.
Yeah, considering we have the whole rest of the mountain too, right? We have Paradox.
Spin speed. Let's go.
Nice. I think actually I've seen Faker do this in NMG as well. You know, like, you know, Carrot Basement's one of the times when runners really get to show off their creativity, right? Because everyone is stuck with you for like 50 seconds, you know, and what else are you gonna do here in Tile Room besides, I don't know, well, some people can do, you know, pot super speed. It's great.
Yeah, just have fun instead of waiting around.
Exactly. Remember when we were talking about the Soyhr was definitely, Moldorm was definitely not going to knock anybody off. We definitely are going to see Soyhr here fight Moldorm for the first time. He has definitely not been here before. Not like 15 seconds, no.
It's okay. He made up some time with Hammerpot. He chose like a non-paper, slower but more safer approach for Hammerpot. And he got it first try that way, so...
Yeah,
he made up the time that he lost by falling here on Airport, at least.
See, you know, maybe one of the reasons why Moldorm is actually such a difficult boss, in addition to just being random, is the last Enrage phase is actually quite terrifying.
Yeah, we'll see if Soyhr decides to do Hammer Basement here. It's definitely a very tempting skip. And look what we found here.
I know, we found the book. And we found the lamp. And we found the bow. And and we're gonna definitely do desert for a crystal. And potentially our Dark World access, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
We found powder. Yeah.
Yeah. we will do that.
Yeah, well, this is actually, and Faker Jr. also found powder here in Paradox as well, so that actually may be a little bit more enticing for him to check, to check Shovel in the Light World if it comes down to it. Can also kind of maybe loop in Magic Bat. We also do see Faker Jr. using the boots. We don't need bombs today, right? We don't need bombs for Harapot. We don't need bombs to get over from Paradox. You know, it's all good. Just, you know, everything is inherent.
Yeah, boots are just the superior bombs. All the way from the start in Escape to
that's exactly correct.
Paradox.
That's the power of real boots. More notably, also, you know, Faker Jr. Being able to get that hover. He was also on a Koloprovsky's team, aptly named the Hoverers. I think it's also a co-op team too. I think both of them, him and Mokke. Yeah.
I don't think we're doing Aga today, by the way.
I did see in this case we did have mitts. Also found here in I literally just missed Sparkle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna get this as well. You know, we have a lot of stuff here, and it's actually kind of nice to be able to get at least like mitts specifically here with the mirror. Well, I mean, in that like the mirror gives you some more options, and you can actually still go back to Dark World if you want to. Have other things that maybe you want to try and clean up. Maybe you want to go back to Hera for Soyhr if you can do Hera Basement. You know, if we had the hammer, we could actually in fact do Spike Cave. Soyhr is just leaving. However, though, not going to do Dark Death Mountain.
He's going back. You realize? Oops. I probably should have done it.
Yeah, I was also wondering.
We found Aga access on Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. I didn't actually end up catching it, but what the medallion was. But according to Mahoney, it was Quake because he caught it. And
okay, he's going back. I was wondering why Faker just run past
the hookshot cave.
Yeah. I'm sure he wants to check Ether Tablet, but I think you're supposed to check this first.
Yeah. That would also be well, or you know, he was just big braining this the whole time. You know what? Okay, no, you should not. Well, no, we can't skip Ice Drop potentially, right? Because TR's a pendant. Okay.
Yeah, should have skipped Hookshot Cave after all.
Yeah,
You
you're
deep
right,
down.
you're right. See, some people just know. Some people have the... Oh, okay. Also, did you know that if you delete a block, the arrow sticks with the invisible block that you deleted? I did not see that. I don't know that visual.
I didn't know that either, actually. It's pretty funny.
Okay, but you know what? We just... Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, we're just trading, you know, skips because Soyhr was going to skip the entirety of all of Dark Death Mountain, you know, and Bigger Junior's going to skip Hookshot Cave, right? So it's about even.
True. Okay. Yeah, we thought the mids were apparently not doing King's Tomb for now. But yeah, we're just going to the village. Rushing desert right now is not really tempting because you could just find the flute like right around the corner and have a way faster entry into desert. So yeah, for now we're just going here. We know that Thieves is a crystal, so might also just want to do that. We have the fire rod to clear Scarwoods, which is also a crystal.
Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty nice in terms of flow, right? Like you did mention, right? Like, yes, even though desert is a completable crystal dungeon for us, Myers also a crystal, so we're gonna have to go find the flute, and you know, or we can just find the flute regardless early, right? We have 2 clearable crystals here on West Dark Worlds, you know, Thieves Town and Skullwoods. Maybe Faker Jr. also wants to, you know, check out Bumper Ledge, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb. Maybe just do it all that before going into Thieves. Like, you know, we have options to be able to do things.
So I also like Team not to do King's Tomb. I wonder if both of them plan to do it together with Graveyard Dash later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
like
possible.
Maybe right after Scarwoods.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and PTM actually pointing out, it's possible this is a hammerless seed with these pendants, which is fun.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, and you know, so right, like the big ticket item, you know, things that we're always kind of looking for in usually like non-entrance, non-keys mode is you're always looking for 2 gloves, you're looking for a hammer, you're looking for pearl, right? So those are your, you know, big like Dark World access things, right? And most often, probably I think before Specky Clip came along, like you pretty much like needed like all 4 of items in order to finish the game, right? But now we potentially can get away with no hammer because we don't need the hammer anymore for Swamp Palace. We just need that hook shots.
Yep, yes. Now there's only 3 dungeons that require the hammer, and those all happen to be pendants in the seed. So, you know, the dream is there. There's always, of course, GT where like half the basement checks require the hammer, so that can still ruin everything, but the hope is there. Yes,
the hope is definitely alive. It's actually really like it's actually really cool to be able to see, you know, seeds like this, right? Where you may not usually get to, you know, it's when it's like when seeds don't require necessarily like say the fire rod, right? Maybe Skullwoods and Turtle Rock or pendants, you know, and then you go find bombos or something for Ice Palace. The caneless seeds also exist, right? Where you don't, you know, mire in Turtle Rock or pendants, and then you get up to upstairs to GT and you have whiz robes and you're just like, what do I do? I don't have the game here, you know. But it's actually kind of cool, you know, have like a little bit of a novelty, right? You don't always have to go through like the same set of requirements, you know, required items all the time. And you know, there's a little bit more pronounced in entrances as well, where you suddenly get to situations where you're kind of not used to the quite, you know, the normal item set. But it's really cool to be able to see in like non-entrance, non-keys modes.
Yeah, and we're actually close to Gongwood too, assuming we don't need a hammer, because we only really need flute and cane. We can have access to all the to all the crystals right now except for Maya, and kill them.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Could be fast, or you know, it could be long and boring if the hammer shows up and blocks flute or cane in like Horde or TR. And the thing with potentially skipping hammer too is it blocks quite a lot of stuff, so usually it's just, you know, you just find it on your way eventually.
Yeah, that's also true too, right? Just like, you know, when some people have like Mitsuko mode, for example, right? You know, that's, you know, one of the dreams, right? Is because Mits lock basically like all of Dark Death Mountain, locks, you know, multiple, like locks 3 dungeons, right? That you have to go look for things in. But yeah, like Hammer, Hammer used to lock out a lot more stuff, right? Like for example, locked out pretty much like most Tom Palace, but that's not really a requirement now. But yeah, like Hammer is obviously like one of like the more major things. So
we definitely don't need pedestals, so that's one less thing we would need the hammer for.
yes, that's true. That's true. Soyhr did confirm. That it's just couch cash. We don't have any couches in in Hyrule. Yeah, I didn't see a couch in our house either, so we certainly don't need that cash if it's only supposed to be couch cash.
Well, maybe that's the cash we could use to finally get a couch,
Have you seen any shops that sell couches? I have seen zero furniture places. We've only seen, it does make me wonder, like, how people, I guess, like, get, like, beds and tables. The Smiths put it overtime?
I don't know, maybe they just spawn with it,
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's how Hyrule works. You get born and, like, you just have a bed in hand.
Perfect. Okay.
Sleep your life.
You're right. It seems so simple these days. Did Faker Jr. by the way skip like the front of Skullwoods or something? I think I must have. Oh, okay. See, this is what happens in Skullwoods. Like when there is just like completely useless things in there, you just kind of block everything out. I don't know what happened the last like couple minutes of my life.
You did do a nice hover to the big chest instead of.
You know what? I did remember that. Now that you mention it, I do remember. Faker Jr. living up to the hoverers' names. Okay, alright, so both, it looks like Faker Jr. and Soyhr opted to skip at least North Dark World for now. We're just gonna go and do our crystal dungeons, which is very, again, understandable.
Yeah, always do crystals. This makes me wonder a bit more about the King's Tomb skip earlier, but...
Yeah. No, you're definitely right because with Mitts, with Mitts and no flute, we're gonna basically go onto Dark World because we have to start a saying because that's our only Dark World portal entry. King's Doom is I don't know 2 screens away, something like that. So it's
one screen, it's really close, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, King's Doom is not actually that much quicker with Graveyard Ledge because you have to mirror twice for it if you want to continue on to something like Catfish or Pyramid or whatever. So there isn't really any reason not to do it with Sank, even if you plan to do Graveyard Ledge on the sooner side.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's a good point. Another maybe justification I can think of is like if they do King's Doom now and then I don't know if they want to try then Graveyard Ledge is very, very isolated for them. I guess I don't think either of them checked Upper Ledge, so maybe that is something that they can do combine Graveyard Ledge with, but it's just much harder to go back to like a location for one item, especially for modes where maybe you don't have a lot more things you have to go look for, right? In non-keys, non-entrance, you're looking for, I don't know, like 20, 30 things, right? And to be able to kind of invest that much time for one item, because for example, we'll just go find the Cane of Samaria here in the attic of Beasttown. We don't need Kingston, we don't need Zora,
That's fun. This cane is hammerlocked because the small key could still be in blind cell, but there's a chance it's hammerlocked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think the small key can be in the big chest, right? That does exist in this mode. Okay.
Yeah. If the small key's in a big chest, it means this game is hammerlocked. If it's in blind cell, then this is accessible. It doesn't really matter because there's like only one check that the cane locks that is not hammerlocked, which is Vitreous. And the other cane lock checks are like Eternal Rock, and that needs the hammer anyway.
True. We did find the small key though in blind cell, so the dream of a not logical hammerless seed is very much still alive.
Well, I don't know if we can call it logical because.
Oh, okay. You're right. We can say yes. Okay, you're right. So far, maybe we could in fact actually find the hammer in Swamp, for example. That's a very, especially pre-Specky Clip days, is very undesirable location to go find a hammer in. But today, if it doesn't happen, hammer could be out in the wilds. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it's a Graveyard Lodge and we just literally never visit.
I would love that.
That would be, or Catfish, right? All these, or it's just bad locations.
Yeah, we don't want to do bad locations. We only want to do the good locations.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that being said, though, like, traversing through Dark World, you do have to do a little bit more planning, because if you only have Myth's Dark World access, you really have access to one Dark World entry point. If you have Aga done, you have another one, which is actually much more convenient if you don't have the hammer. That being said, like, but if you want to go to other places, for example, if you want to do like the front of pod, you want to go to the rest of the world, you don't have a convenient, hey, I'll just run to the Hype Cave edge. Oh no, I can't get into Dark World because I don't have the hammer. You gotta, you have to make sure that you are willing to either invest time or plan things more properly.
Yeah, I really hope the flute shows up soon. I would really like to see these guys go out and see if they can beat Ganon without finding the hammer.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I guess we have the possibility of Bombos as a potential spoiler for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not think about that.
Oh, you're right.
Surely Bombos is not required.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, this actually could be pretty nice too for Figure Jr. I know the Soyhr ended up taking a little bit of extra time investment to make sure, or to try to get something out of the dig spot. But I think you also did mention that Figure Jr., if you can delay this, try and combine it with like Stumpy. And in this particular case, we have Myth's Dark World access, so we can actually do Smith Chain as well. Figure Jr., in addition to Soyhr, has the powder, so we can actually we can do this entire thing minus hammer pegs, which is pretty nice. However, I guess we only have, I'm just realizing now, we can only maybe do one or the other.
Yeah, that's the issue with powder here. Like, you can do it, but then you have to walk all the way back to the village portal to get back into Dark World.
Figure Jr. looks like we want to keep our purple chest, but it's fine. I'm kind of curious now to see what Soyhr will decide to do, because he has the same decision to make, right? Whether or not he wants to keep the use the portal to check powder or kind of finish up as the Smith Chain. We are going to do neither. Yeah, never mind.
That's a pretty good skip. Saves him a lot of time. Like, he's basically caught up now, and Faker Jr. is about to spend more time checking the dig spot and turning in the purple chest.
Yeah. And it actually does look like Soyhr might be just trying to rush Hype Cave. I don't know if you will take a page out of PCM's book and maybe just do Swamp. I mean, but it's a clearable crystal dungeon. We don't need the hammer for it. We've got at least 2 swords in order to beat Argus with. I'm surely, memes in Swamp means that we're gonna find Tempered, maybe even Gold Sword in Swamp. Yeah. So we're just gonna get another crystal dungeon out of this. Is this also 5/6? Can we get Pyramid Fury? Or is that? Oh no, no, we need desert. Never mind.
Oh yeah, sure. We haven't actually cleared desert. We can just clear it. Yeah.
You think actually that's where Faker Jr. is gonna go?
I think he does Swamp here. Swamp and then into Bombos Tablet into...
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm so sad! Dang it, Soyhr. Why can't you just... Why can't you do Swamp before Hype Cave? Okay, these are rules that I just made up of Rando.
No, I think it is an actual rule. You have to, we have to try to avoid the hammer. So you check in Swamp first for the flute in places where the hammer can't be, and only then, if you don't find anything, move on to places where you could find the hammer.
Exactly.
Soyhr also, Faker Jr. also going to Hype Cave before Swamp.
I swear. Believe these guys, I know.
If flute is just here, I'm gonna be so mad.
That's a great point. Oh my gosh, you're right. Like, if we literally just never visited Hype Cave, oh, okay, that's a very new way of doing Hype Cave on Figure Jr. side. But yeah, if we never visit Hype Cave, yeah, we might be on Master Sword Silver List, but trust in Swamp to have a sword for you and the flute, and then we will never. We could have gone through this entire rest of our lives knowing that we had a hammerless sea that we never found the hammer for.
Exactly. Yeah, the other downside is, of course, we found silvers, which we really don't want to find before Landmoss. Oh. So
I can't believe these guys didn't do desert either. Oh. That's okay. All right. Okay. So, but we now have the potential of, well, we need food for sure, but that might be the only item left that we actually hard need. We don't have eyes on the Meyer medallion, so we don't actually know if we need bombs or not. But as you said before, we're just not going to think about that scenario. We have a 67% chance that we don't need bombos. So.
I'm gonna be honest, if they find Flute here in Swamp, I hope they need bombos. They deserve it.
Good point. I did forget what was already in the map chest. Was that an item?
Let's find out.
Okay, yes. Oh, it was an item. All right, it was burnout. Yeah, thanks, Lana. Yeah, and yeah, Mahoney's also doing like an excellent job checking for everything. The only complaint I have for him is, again, you know, for some reason the runners had to find silver, so we had to go mark those. Sometimes, you know, I want to live in my little bubble. It's fine. It's fine.
You think if we just have them unmark the silvers, they are not allowed to use them anymore?
Yeah, well, yes, in theory. However, that might raise more questions if they actually know that we unmarked the silvers and they weren't allowed to use them. Now, that being said, though, they're still free to use not silvers, not fire rod, you know, of their own, not ice rod of their own volition on whatever boss they choose to go beat. I'm kind of curious to see what they want to do here for Argus.
Yeah, there's been some strats that became popular with Argus recently, where you go for 3 or even 4 puffs at once and kill them with 1 spin with Master Sword, and you can have some real fast Argus fights that way. So I was electing to just kill 2 at once, which is significantly easier and not that much slower. He's gonna have a 2-cycle Argus here, and usually if you go for like triple or quad spins, then you can end up with a 1-cycle. So still a good fight. Still decent.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, very nice silvers for usage for phase 2. You know, these are the things that make Argus go fast. Slightly reminded of of maybe some previous swordless races where even if we come into swamp without the hammer, you don't really have a lot of great options. But being able to take down Argus with a fire rod, with bombs, all these options exist. But yeah, they might be a little bit slower than just using the swords.
Okay, so Soyhr is routing this a little bit better. He of course didn't have the purple chest, so he didn't need to make it over to the screen, but I think still, even for Faker, turning in the purple chest, it would have been better to go do Swamp after the purple chest, and then do Bombo's tablet into Desert like Soyhr is doing here. Because that's where you save yourself the mirror back into Dark World after Bombos. And you're already on the screen, so...
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Good old 2-arrow silver Argus phase 2.
It's like some people somehow can get away with 4 arrows, silver arrows on Ganon. I'm pretty sure the number is 5. Okay, like I don't know how people do it with 4, but it's just something that happens too here with Argus, right? People say it's 1. Yeah, we can just use another one for good measure. Maybe the wall was feeling lonely too.
Yeah, it's actually really impressive that Faker just killed him with the second arrow. Like, obviously when I kill him on the first one, but if you miss him, it's actually really hard to just hit him with the second right away.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. Yeah, looks like we're gonna actually do, as you mentioned before, we're just going to be able to do Desert as our next crystal. And again, with no flute, it's not just as convenient as let's just go flute over to 6 and then mirror and do all that. No, like running over to Desert, one of the reasons, as you mentioned before, was we didn't want to run over here because it costs quite a lot of time. Maybe we can combine it with something else. Maybe we can get the flute. Maybe we'll just go do Swamp into Desert. We've already kind of saved ourselves a lot of the traversal to the South Light World. May as well just make the slight detour as opposed to the whole other extra trip.
Yeah, if you can flute to Desert, this is like the next best thing. Comboing Bombo Separate after Swamp into Desert. Like, can't get much faster than that.
I ended up,
So
yeah.
what do you
so-
think these guys are gonna use on this boss?
There is like zero chance. Well, I do not believe that the chances of using something other than silvers, or potentially the fire rod, would be on the docket for both Soyhr and Baby Jr.
That's disappointing to hear.
Should be fine. It should be fine. You know. Oh,
Oh, look, look.
wait. What is this? What is this? We actually
doing the cheese?
menued over. Oh,
Oh.
amazing. Oh,
He did the
no.
goodies.
I gotta applaud the commitment, you know, to trying to fake me out. You know, he actually even sacrificed a whole menu, and you know, not even like quick swapping over to the bow, right, and quick swapping over to regular arrows.
Yeah. Actually impressive that he still got like the 3-shot kill on Lamos. Whenever I go for this cheese, I just like, you know, I find it really hard to like press L and R to switch back to silvers and then still get the timing right. So nice job on that, Soyhr.
Yeah. All right. So because the big key was on the torch, no real reason I think to go over to right side. You know, landmills can actually just have an item, in which case we can basically cut our time short. But not in this case, meant to be. So we'll just go over to right side, and hopefully we still have to do all of the rest of the here anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, Faker weirdly not even doing the fake out. He's just killing them.
Yeah. Pretty disappointed, but it's I think especially Faker Jr. might be feeling a little bit more pressure, not necessarily I think for most other reasons for like races, but he is down a game versus Soyhr. I think this is actually his 3rd game that he's played. He is at currently 2. Yeah, he's at 1-1. I think he took a win over Raz, took a loss over to Soyhr. And if you want to try and make brackets, right? 5-1 is a very good position to be in, or 6-0 if you're undefeated. 4-2, I think you got some probably like tiebreaker considerations, but like taking that 2nd loss would certainly not be desirable. Maybe just thinking about try to go as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. No memes allowed. You gotta make sure you stay in tournament. So opting to not go for the bomb tube here, which is fine. Like the bomb tube only at this point only saves like 2 seconds. So, it's very understandable to not risk anything.
Yeah, he already sacrificed the 2 seconds trying to, menu over to the bow, right? And like, the regular arrows. So he can't afford us to try and risk this.
But he could have made up the time that he lost.
True, that's also true. It's true.
Hey, it's a fluke.
Oh look, it is a fluke. We could have just skipped Hype Cave, right?
Yes, but it makes checking Pyramid really awkward, so... But yes, in theory, yes. We did not need the hammer at all.
Just skip Pyramid Fair, or just skip Hype Cave. It's okay. Yeah, but you're correct though. Like I think we didn't have the hammer, then I guess we gotta dive into Lake Hylia Island, right? Near
yeah.
And, at the right time, and then mirror back, and then swim back. Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Alternatively, we could just beat Aga. Probably even less desirable.
Yeah, that's also true too. That's probably like the way that the game is intending us to actually. Well, no, we have a hammer, but I mean, if we had no hammer, right, that would have been probably the intention.
Yeah. Okay, time to find out if combos is needed.
But yeah, this is actually, this is actually a pretty close race. All things considered, Soyhr is basically by skipping some of the whole Smith chain, that Faker Jr. ended up doing. He is now like 1 fluid activation basically ahead, like 1 run to Kakariko. Gonna save a little bit of give a little bit of time back. We're gonna buy some looks like safeties potentially for Meyer, maybe even the end game because we are on Master Sword Silvers. But other than that though, like we're gonna go find the big key in Meyer. We're gonna go, assuming it's not Bombos, we're gonna go find the big key in GT, and then we're gonna beat the game.
Yeah, it's quite close. We'll see if Faker can make up time in execution. I think at least on paper he is supposed to be the strong execution player. Like you mentioned, he has a really good energy time. We'll see if it's enough, and we'll also see how like routing decisions inside Maya and in GT will affect the race. And of course, he doesn't have the tempered sword, so it's not NMG execution right now.
Right. Yeah. That's certainly true. And I think I don't actually know how practice both Soyhr and Faker Jr. on like let's say like Master Sword Ganon. It does it can certainly bleed time if you are less experienced with it. I mean, but that being said, that they played a ton of rando, and I'm sure this is not like their first or even second or even nth time doing this. But if it's not something that you are maybe like maybe more fresher on your mind, right? It can still or you never kind of like take the time to to really practice it. Can actually save you some can actually lose you some time. And as you mentioned before, right, like depending on where the GP big key is, depending on how the gauntlet goes, right, these are all things that can in fact influence timing differences.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting here. They're really close. Like it's basically just one in-dungeon routing decision that can make the difference here. Like for example, if Spike Room has the big key and Faker just goes there first, suddenly he's ahead.
Yeah. And I didn't actually maybe give Meyer enough credit in terms of just like routing. Even like in like non-keys modes, as in like where you're actually kind of looking for the big key with the dungeon items still within the dungeon. Like there's gonna be like minor things, that will influence, like how fast you can basically get to the end of the dungeon, right? I think if the big key is vanilla, as in is in the big key chest, it probably won't matter too much, like what order you do things in. But yeah, like if things are maybe in the lobby chest or spike chest or bridge chest, right? Suddenly someone can overtake a lead.
Yeah, I think there actually are some routing decisions for big key chest as well. Some people like to just do it after compass chest, and some people like to do it that last.
Oh yeah,
so if you
yeah.
go all the way to map chest first and then defend the big key, you obviously lose a lot of time. This time it's just in compass chest. And
but
doing it right away.
Yeah, but I mean, like I think Faker Jr. ended up catching up actually on quite a bit of time because I think Soyhr was probably at least like a third of the way through Maya or something like that. Now we're a couple screens apart.
Yeah, he definitely saved some time in Maya too, but yeah, what you mentioned was like after Maya too, so I wonder why he saved the time here. But yeah, it's probably just like cleaner movement, just really nice execution that Faker is portraying here.
Uh-oh. Did we miss Spooky? I don't actually know in this case if Soyhr has enough magic to take another one. The hook shot for some reason doesn't work. I don't understand why. Like it seems so finicky with this switch. I've seen this like multiple times. But this is actually going to be a tape. I think we're actually going to see Faker Jr. maybe take over.
Any moment.
Any moment. Right now. Right here. Oh. So yeah, I mean, just like this, we actually see. I guess this isn't tempered sword required execution, but Faker Jr. pretty. I think he's actually run some amount of vanilla preset as well. So, and we have silvers for the fight. So this should be hopefully should be pretty even in terms of boss fights. Not going to be too different in terms of Master Sword execution for Vitreous.
Yep. Don't step too much into the grooves.
Yeah. Now they do have red mail for what it's worth, so like they probably are not going to be too worried about dying. But then again, if you have red mail and you don't actually watch your health anymore, and suddenly you're just like, oh, I'm dying. Oh no, I'm dead. And yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the time loss for Soyhr was he had to use the potion to have magic for a torch room. He could have used Slam for it, but he decided to use the magic, added the potion set to preserve his Spooky, which he then lost anyway. The potion actually loses some time, and what he could have done is he could have also just killed some Poplos on the way to Spike Chest.
Right, because it was the magic prize pack, right? Yeah, or it was the large variety. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he got the fairy drop in Maya too, so the next drop would have been a full magic.
Shout out to prize packs from like an hour ago.
Okay, so Soyr's Survivor's teammates are having different ideas for what he should do. We'll see whose favor he will gain and who you will make an enemy.
Do you think that this is how the which mode do we ban in Survivors discussion also went for their team? You know, you have
Yeah,
dissenting opinions. But I will say though that in Survivors there was one team captain, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what the discussions were like, but you know, here, well, you know, like Soyhr is his own Moogle, right? So I don't actually know, you know, how things will be adapted.
Yeah, if I had to pick between one of my teammates, I would definitely pick the one that's still in the game.
Oh my god. Oh, shots fired.
So maybe that if Soyhr has to pick one of them, maybe that's how he would make his
Mhm.
decision. But...
All right, okay. Oh. All right, well, we'll see in this case like who is actually correct. I will pick the teammate who is actually leads me to the big key first. Okay, Mahoney, stop the big key guessing game. Okay, so Faker Jr. is going first. Gonna go Hope Room. Both chests have keys, so we're gonna just go to Compass Room. What is Soyhr gonna do? Soyhr is going to Stealthless Room.
Okay, who said that?
It was his team captain.
Okay, it was PTM. Okay, and it saved in time. Okay, so
wow.
So
Oh, amazing. Okay, well, since suddenly the lead has swung back to Soyhr because we are now a whole right side GT on Faker Jr. side behind. Wait, what are we doing? We need a key?
We're looking for tempered Soyhr.
Oh, we're looking for tempered. Okay. I think this is worth it, right? To look for tempered here in Stealthless Room?
Well, apparently not.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like if you don't have silvers, it's really good. If you have silvers, it's kind of questionable. And
yeah.
We see Faker mirroring immediately, so he gained a lot of time back already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he even placed a bomb. Maybe, you know, either it's probably because he didn't swap over fast enough to the mirror, or he was just angry. You know, they had to do a whole right side GT for absolutely nothing. Like, we didn't even get, you know, a temper sword out of it. Did we even get a safety? You know, he got nothing, right? So we're just going.
Yep.
And
all you got was loss of magic.
Yeah, okay. See, I mean, this could make some differences, you know, in the climb. They do both have silvers, which I do think kind of maybe negates some of the pain points of like having a master sword only, you know, because things at least die in one shot to silvers. Faker might also just die here in. Oh my god. Did you know that red mail doesn't help with spikes?
Yes, that's why in GT you would really just like to have health and not mails, because most of the things you just do a flat 1 damage. But I think as a red potion, he's fine.
Yeah, but for now. And they do have powder, both of them, at the top of the tower, so that, you know, they do get a health refill. But this definitely, you know, gave Soyhr a good amount of extending his lead a little bit here. Soyhr also might die, please.
Also has the red potion. and one backup blue potion.
Yes. That was actually a really nice shot there on Faker's side. Right, so like even like regular arrows, you know, don't kill these things in one shot, but he was able to snipe them with silvers. And with fast ROM, you know, there's no real lag. So just makes things look pretty nice to compensate. Yeah. But suddenly, man, after everything's said and done, we're on the same screen. Like,
wow.
Literally right here.
Yeah, that was some really nice sniping with silver arrows that Faker did doing the gauntlet. Really nice job.
Yeah.
And also he is back down to 2 hearts, so please don't die.
Yes, please don't die.
Interesting decision of Soyhr there to pick up the magic when he has plenty to do the torches 1 room, and then there's a full magic just before torches 2 anyway. Like this magic that he picked up doesn't really do anything.
Oh, but Faker is Soyr's gonna catch up a little bit with the lead change because he was able to 1 cycle Wizard's 2. Yeah, this is super tight. Yeah, and
having some trouble picking up the pot, so he has to.
He's on half a heart too. Holy cow! I mean, I don't think either of them are probably. That red mail is gonna go a long way, potentially. Or we'll just use the potion. I'm much happier using the potion. It's fine.
Finally, we had another one all on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the Ganon fight, kinda. Who's better at Master Sword Ganon if we don't find template here? They're both looking.
Yeah, very understandable for them to look. I mean, these are relatively pretty, you know, fast chucks. Although, even though every chest is pretty close in proximity, getting to the chest is still number of seconds. Opening the chest is like 2 to 3 seconds, depending on what happens. We got like 1,000 chest turns to do to try and make up for the lost time that we already incurred. So I'm not sure if that's just gonna keep going. Faker is you know what? We don't. If Temper's here, Faker might be regretful of his decisions, but he definitely saved time in the short term, and he saved time here over Soyhr in order to hover out Moldorm 2. That was a sick hover too. Like that was super
that was really sick. It's cool that you actually see that hover like saving time. Like this, not in the sense of one person can hover and the other one has to find hookshot, but just like a raw time save.
Yeah.
In a fight, it's really cool.
You usually don't really see this in rando. Maybe it's more commonly seen, like I would say, maybe in MG. Maybe depending on your situation, right? Because like hovering, we kind of saw it does actually save quite a bit of time, especially if you don't defeat Moldorm on especially in this case, less good equipment. But in MG, the difference is where your opponent is, or you think if you need to make up the time, you think you need to, then you could try and make the hover. But Faker Jr., we're just going.
Yeah, I think Faker also saved some time on Aga too. I think he had one less cycle.
Yeah,
but it is Master Sword Ganon. Depending on how good and practiced these guys are, this could be still quite a difference maker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Faker dropped it at 105.01, like right when basically like lights turned back on, for Ganon. He placed a Samari block, so Soyhr is let's say 15, so like roughly like 14 seconds behind going into this fight. But as you said though, like Master Sword Ganon, especially phases 1 and 2, even sometimes phases 3 and 4 can actually give you trouble because you still have to hit the silver arrows in phase 4. And you could do a 4 cycle, you can do a 3 cycle, you could have lots of different combinations here in phases 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah, Faker had a really nice position for Ganon in phase 2. He got a lot of spins in there. He didn't quite manage to 1 cycle it. I think it's like barely possible if you have the cape. But he didn't get it, neither did Soyhr.
Okay, we do have to be a little...
Oh, interesting. Something must have happened that, like, it's definitely kind of free to get at least 10 hits in when you're in the corner up there. So it shouldn't be an issue to finish phase 2 on the next cycle, but he didn't quite get it, so something must have happened that I missed.
We are super, super close right now. So phase 3, usually, especially with, Tempered Sword, you just kind of go through the motions of this. They hit phase 3 very, very close together. And Faker Jr., he is at a health deficit right now. Soyhr took the investment to drink his last potion, so he doesn't end up dying. But this is super, super close.
Oh, this is a really nice setup. Getting
he's gonna get triples? Wow. Oh, really nice fight there on.
Great job there.
Yeah, very well earned. Well earned victory here over Soyhr for Faker Jr. GG's in chat. It's extremely strong ending for Faker Jr.
Yeah, he saved a lot of time. Look how much longer this phase 4 Ganon is taking Soyhr, because he didn't have the nice setup for the triple.
Yeah, because Faker Jr. had, I think, the initial 1 arrow, I think pre-torches kind of going out, and then he, as you mentioned, had a really nice setup for a triple, so he only had 2 cycle, and yeah, quite the time difference. But big GG's to Soyhr as well. They both played very, very well. This was very... Yeah, this was actually really... Look at the dungeons that we didn't have to go into, Jem. We didn't have to go into pendant anything.
I love that. No pendant hammer dungeons. If only we could have also skipped the hammer.
Yeah, well, we just skipped Hype Cave. Yeah, we didn't even the big key wasn't even hammer locked, right? It was just on the torch.
Yeah. True, we could have completely skipped that.
Yeah. Oh.
And so I would have saved time by not being tempted to go into his office room to get a tempered sword. Yeah, actually, man. It's
it's certainly very easy to kind of bias things towards, like, especially at the end. It's like, if I just didn't do X, right, I could have, the race could have gone.
I hear you now, if that helps.
I think Demos isn't here anymore.
Discord being Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome
How's
back.
it going? GG's?
GG's.
Yeah, GG Soyhr.
This is a super fast seas, Soyhr.
I told you it'd be within a minute. It's all my matches. That's how they're all going.
I mean, this one was like extremely close. I mean, so like I think you and Faker Jr. hit like very similar routes. And now certainly if you, I guess you just abide by the, let's go clear crystal dungeons, type of thing. All right, makes a lot of sense. You kind of overtook him when you skipped the entire Smith chain. Like you just did these 10 and then you just kind of ran to like Hype Cave and Swamp, and then you went to Desert, to Purva Ferry, and then I think when he ended up kind of overtaking you a bit I think you went to go buy potions after, like before Meyer, and then sometime in Meyer, and then some amount of stuff. Like there was a lot of back and forth in the gauntlet. But ultimately, he had a very, he had a very fast Ganon.
Yeah, my gauntlet was not the greatest. I know the red Zyzak's room. I don't know if that's it's G4.
G4.
That was a disaster, and then I don't know. I was nervous the entire time. But yeah, it was still very close, and it was a second Master Sword seed against Faker, so pretty awesome with that. So. GG's Faker.
Yo, Faker,
Faker.
Junior. GG's. Maybe we have the same mic issues. Discord is being Discord.
Oh, he must be.
Yeah, too bad about Master Sword, or no Tempered Sword. That was a bit more unfortunate, but you guys but I think the equipment was maybe overall pretty, was pretty comfy.
Red Mail before leaving Dam or whatever, so I mean, made things better, definitely. Always like to have Tempered, but hey, that's is what it is. I'm glad we had a good. It sounds like we had a good fight in Ganon. So
yeah. So Faker Jr. dropped in. I think it's like 15 seconds basically before you for Ganon. Yeah, and then he had a very strong phase 4 for Ganon. He took a little bit longer. He also hovered Moldorm too. Like that hover was also extremely fast too. I mean, they're just like little things that kind of went back and forth. It was a very, very close race though. You guys I'm pretty sure you guys had very similar collection rates and everything. It's a great race.
Yeah, this was insane back and forth, like the moment you would go about basically. Super cool to watch. Did you guys realize that it was possible to finish this without hamming?
Yes, I did. Hype Cave
was so disappointed.
The Hype Cave check was really just to try to get the flute. But then I got the hammer and I was like, all right, well now everything's in logic, so.
So sad. Even the GT Bicky was accessible without the hammer.
Yeah, very much so. I wish I didn't have the hammer. I might have not gone to a DM room and been a little even closer, but
yeah.
I was just that was my only, I'm going there for a sword and seeing if I'm going to get one, and I thought that wasn't as bad as just mirroring, going to Hope and then mirroring again. I was like, well, I'm here and it's not too slow, but 32 seconds or 31 seconds rather, and there's a lot of places that things could have happened differently. Faker does say he's having issues with Discord too.
Yeah, he's coming in and out.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I wish I was already in the mindset after Spiral Cave and getting those mitts that I was like, I'm saving and quitting. And then I saw the mitts. I'm like, oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. So that's straight nerves for me though. Faker's really, really solid, and I routed and got the mitts last time before he did. That's how I pulled out a win. And I knew that coming in, I was like, even if I don't get this one, I still have a very good shot at getting brackets. But if I did get this one, it would have been pretty much just me being like, yay, brackets. But yeah, it was one reason why I was like all over the place. My hands were shaking the entire climb too. It was interesting.
You said it well. Very nice job.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. I mean, like, race nerves are always going to be a thing, but I think you still pull through quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk to Faker Jr. now? Can you hear us? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, GG's.
GG's.
GG?
Yeah, GG's Faker.
Very, very strong finish for you to take the victory. Your execution definitely shown through for the end game.
Yeah, you.
Okay, you heard the
Come
important
again?
stuff. Okay, well, we'll try and get him back.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think at least for brackets, Soyhr, it like yeah, like 4-2, I think it still has good enough chances, and then two people do advance, right? In like from groups to brackets. So still like I know it's still pretty early, I think, in the phases, but you have one more match. I think like Faker Jr. has 3 more matches after this, something like that. So it's definitely pretty early to tell, but yeah, we'll see. Faker Jr.
Yeah,
say something if you can hear us.
Feel free to interrupt us at any time. What's your standing right now, Soyhr?
I am 3-2, and I have one more match against Encasto. I split with both Faker and Roz in pretty much less than minute races in each race, so feeling pretty good. I know how things are going to work out, how things have to work out for me to make brackets, or if I win one more game, I at least force a tiebreaker to get the second place in our group.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely good luck in your next race.
Thank you. Actually, I think
Gotcha.
if Roz wins out one against Faker and then 2 against Encasto, I think Faker still has Encasto twice and Roz once. But if Roz wins out and then Faker wins against Encasto, it's 3, 4, and 2s against each other. So
That would be fun.
that would be fun to play. I hope it's not another 10-second swing, but we'll see.
It's actually incredible. Like you did say yesterday that this race would be within 1 minute, and it sure was.
Yeah, definitely. I know the quals were not. I did not do well in the quals, but I definitely seem to have shaken the rust on Cavs boots here and figured out what I need to be doing. I do have one question. Clear Mouse. On land
Yes,
mode,
Soyhr.
how excited were you? And then how mad were you?
I believe everything is in the VOD.
Okay.
I did mention though that I did applaud your commitment for how far, even willing to sacrifice the whole like 1 second actually menu over, and switch to the regular arrows.
I did it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Feel free to continue to follow through on the bit and to actually use the wooden arrows next time.
Yeah, if I did use the wooden arrows, this would not have been 31 seconds. This would have been 3 minutes. So, it does suck that Discord is not doing that great, but GG's to Faker. I'm gonna go get some food and get ready for my next match.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Thanks very much for racing. Sorry. Thank you, Faker Jr. for also racing. Really unfortunate if we don't get to chat, but sorry about Discord. Yeah. But you ran very excellent race today. You know, very solid execution. And yeah, Soyhr, best of luck in Cross Keys versus Humbug. That will be on ZSR main, I believe, or ZSR 2, I think, at 3 p.m. Eastern. So should be good.
Yeah, rumor has it has great commentary, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's got some it's got some area commentary. Should be fun. Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Who's the other person?
It's someone else who's just there for the ride. Yeah, it'll be myself and Ari. Should be also a good time. So
Should be a fun one.
Yeah, and then yeah. So I don't think I saw any other. So your match with Encasto hasn't been scheduled, right, Soyhr?
Yeah, it's not. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, like I said, you guys got time. I don't think I saw anything on Faker Jr.'s side as well in terms of future races, but I'm sure those will come in time. And I think Faker Jr. is also he's still alive in Kabuki. Has one more race versus Telethar. That should be hopefully soon-ish. TM. Well, you know, he's got plenty of other content looking forward to. Yeah. But yeah, thank you all so much. Want to thank Mahoney, who I think also is gone. But he did an awesome job on tracking, so thank you so much. And of course, Esme for setting up everything on SG to make the restream happen. Thanks, Jem. It was a lot of fun, as always.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. Yeah, thanks for being a great co-con, as always. I had a lot of fun doing this commentary.
Yeah,
Thanks to you.
it was so good. And yes, thank you, Soyhr and Faker Jr. especially, for ditching the seed so quickly. Because, you know, that was my biggest hope for both of you, was to finish the seed fast. Yeah, I don't think there are any more casual booths slated on Restream, but definitely keep an eye out, you know, for future races. And I'm sure there's also plenty of other things going on at SpeedGaming. But I think until then, have a great rest of your day.
See ya.